TV shows.
Maybe. My name is Shani B, coming from the east side, 46218, baby.
This is Chantel Gardner, a 33-year-old aspiring rapper from Indianapolis who went by the stage name Shani B. On January 25th, 2025, she would discover her 2-year-old daughter Skylar unresponsive in their apartment, hidden beneath a lightweight dresser in conditions so disturbing that detectives would later describe the scene as a biohazard. But what investigators uncovered next would reveal a woman living two completely different lives. Before we get into what really happened in that apartment, let me take you back to October 2024, where this nightmare truly began. But first, you need to understand who Chantel Gardner presented herself to be.
So, Shani, tell me what it is you do.
So I don't want to put the term rapper on me. I'm an artist.
An artist.
Yeah, but I do rap. I rap. Anytime we do it, I feel like the experience get better and better. And anytime I can feel you inside me, I know it'll get wetter and wetter. I know that pussy ain't got manners, so I could tell you now, it was my pleasure. Felt like he done struck gold in this pussy, got my name saved, that's little treasure. Let me borrow your face, put it right in my waist. You could lick it and stick it and get you a taste. Only here for the moment, ain't got time to waste through the dash in that pussy, but no need to race. Rich bitch pussy, come fuck me in the rave, in the scat, in the bag. I need a quickie, in the trap, it don't matter, just hit me back, cause he got me speaking in tongues. All on my knees like a nun, I double back when I'm done. He know little shit need to run.
In interviews, Chantel came across as thoughtful, ambitious, someone who'd been writing music since she was 12 or 13 years old and started taking it seriously in 2017. She talked about writing for other artists, both male and female, and positioned herself as different from other female rappers, someone who made music for everybody, not just following trends.
Be yourself. Don't let nobody try to conform you to be what society wants you to be, what the industry is trying to conform all the females to be. Stick to being you, keep being yourself. You do that, you go a long way.
Lately I've been in my bag, going somewhere popping my shit, ain't clocking no bitch. I'm just here to make up for all the time that I missed. I got them pissed, I know it's a rat bitch that's probably hoping I quit. Listen, my mama gave birth to one girl. Why the fuck is you calling me sis? That shit is so dead. I'm a problem like cold red. Told my nigga I need more head, but real I need more bread. So it's back to the block like Jennifer Lopez. I'm popping like Topaz. I'm spending new money with an old head. I'm a street bitch, baby, with street money. Little nigga, I don't do fed. Sorry, baby. I hate to tell you that it ain't the boss for us. I don't play with bitches. No Bobby dolls, little bitches ain't Toys R Us. And he coming through fully loaded, fully guarded, just like a armor truck. They ain't really want to see me shine, so they try to make it hard for us. But I'm back and I'm better. I'ma take next like a sweater. Ain't no competition with these bars, and even who pussy is wetter. Your favorite rap bitch can never. If she did, cause I let her. Tell Fujiano hit my line so he can drop me that cheddar. Lord, nigga, Shady B ain't shit.
The advice she gave to aspiring artists is tragically ironic now. Be yourself. Keep being yourself. But which self was the real Chantel Gardner? The one smiling in interviews, talking about unity in the Indianapolis music scene? Or the one leaving her babies to starve in a freezing apartment? For months leading up to that horrific discovery, Chantel had been living a double life. On one hand, she was posting on social media about her music career, promoting her latest single, More Than a Crush, with collaborator Merk.
Okay. One of my first singles, I redid I'll Be Sure, Night and Day.
Okay.
And then I just redid, I just dropped a single called More Than a Crush. You remember LL Cool J and Boyz II Men?
Yeah, Hey Lover.
Hey Lover, I just redid that.
my type. Good daddy being bragging about the shit they making do. I ain't with that boring shit, I tell them bring a bitch or two. All in my DM asking what that mouth do. Tell him not a fucking thing if he ain't talking about no loot. Now freaky bitch, you get it in it, freaky niggas make it happen. Give that nigga stand ovation when that ass gets a clapping. I'm really with the shit, fuck all that freaky rapping. Let me introduce y'all to the freaky bitch and
On the other hand, she was systematically abandoning her 2 young children, leaving them alone in an apartment that was slowly transforming into a death trap. According to court documents and police affidavits, Chantel admitted that she started leaving her children unattended in October 2024. At first, it was just short periods. She'd meet her boyfriend Brian Thomas in the parking lot or run quick errands, but those brief absences grew longer and longer, stretching from hours into days.
What did he? What you say?
I am not drinking that much today. I'm taking it slow, in moderation.
Ooh, we about to turn up. Don't even let that bother y'all.
By late 2024, Chantel had established a routine that would make your blood run cold. She was staying at Brian's residence up to 5 days a week, returning to her own apartment only once a day to drop off fast food for her 2-year-old daughter Skylar and her 3- or 4-year-old son. Talking about cheeseburgers, chicken nuggets, chips, and soft drinks. That was it. The apartment on Newberry Road had become something out of a nightmare. Detectives described it as completely covered in human feces, garbage, chicken bones, fast food wrappers, open sauce containers, clothing, and overturned furniture. The walls had smears of feces and unknown substances. The crib mattress, where little Skylar should have been sleeping safely, was layered with excrement. And here's what makes this even more disturbing. Chantel knew. She admitted to investigators that she knew exactly what was happening. She told police that she'd tried cleaning the walls and maintaining things, but it became too overwhelming, so she eventually just stayed away from the home altogether because of the smell inside the house. She abandoned them in their own filth while she pursued a music career that was going nowhere.
Harder than I ever have. Been a minute since a nigga had it rough. Man, this shit has never been a challenge, bro. And a lot to pick apart the challenge.
All 4 of the females was
We got 2 out of the 4 right here, goddammit. Right here, nigga. I'm on place.
Chantel admitted to bathing the children only once every 1 to 2 weeks and avoiding taking them to doctor's visits because of their poor hygiene. She feared that if anyone saw how these babies were living, the Department of Child Services would intervene and take them away. So instead of fixing the problem, she hid it. She let those children suffer in silence. On December 27, 2024, Brian Thomas recalled seeing the children for the last time at his birthday gathering. After that, they seemingly vanished from everyone's view. The children's father, who lived in Ohio and had limited contact, last saw them around Thanksgiving. His final video chat with them happened 2 to 3 weeks before Skylar's death, and even during those brief glimpses, something seemed off. On January 24, 2024, at 4 in the afternoon, Chantel saw Skylar alive for the last time. She brought the children McDonald's, left the food, and then walked out the door to go stay with Brian. 26 hours later, everything would change. When Chantel returned to the apartment around 6:30 in the evening on January 25th, she called for her children to come eat dinner. Only her son responded. That's when she started searching and found Skylar cold and unresponsive, trapped beneath a fallen lightweight dresser with canvas drawers. Chantel carried her daughter outside, attempted CPR, called 911, and contacted Brian. But when emergency responders arrived, they immediately knew something was terribly wrong. Skylar was already gone. Rigor mortis had set in, meaning she had been dead for hours. And that's when investigators started noticing details that didn't add up.
Meanwhile, let's get to this crime tracker alert. An Indianapolis mother is now charged with murder and child neglect after the death of her 2-year-old little girl who was found in just horrible condition.
The apartment temperature was sitting between 46 and 51 degrees Fahrenheit. There was no functioning heat in the home. These babies had been living in a freezing apartment, covered in their own waste, with barely any food, completely alone for days at a time. Preliminary medical examination suggested that Skylar had died from hypothermia, her tiny body unable to regulate temperature in that ice-cold apartment. But the coroner's examination revealed something even more heartbreaking. Skylar's body told a story of prolonged suffering that went beyond just the cold. Her entire body was covered in patterned bruises, each about 3/4 to 1 inch in diameter, spanning her face, arms, legs, back, and other areas. There were marks on her back and under her left arm. Her hands and feet showed signs of frostbite from the extreme cold. Investigators found a puncture wound on her neck, later determined to be from rodents that had access to her body after death. The internal examination was equally devastating. Skylar was severely dehydrated. She had an injury to her lower lip. But here's what breaks your heart completely. Investigators found foreign materials in her stomach and intestines, including hair, possible feces, and paint chips. This baby was so hungry, so desperate, that she was eating anything she could find.
Think about what Chantel was doing during this time. While her daughter was literally eating paint chips and feces because she was starving, Chantel was giving interviews about her music career. She was talking about making songs that church people could listen to, about staying out of boxes, about being authentic.
So would you say you have music for everybody?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Does that include the church crowd?
I got some songs that the church people can listen to, absolutely.
When confronted with this evidence, Chantel's story started shifting. Initially, she claimed she had only been gone for a short time, but under questioning, she admitted the truth. Chantel admitted she knew she was neglecting her children, but she insisted she never physically harmed them herself. She tried to explain away some of the injuries, claiming that certain marks were from unchanged diapers, not abuse. She painted herself as overwhelmed, struggling, unable to cope with the mess and the smell. Remember what she said in that interview?
But see, that's why I did, a few years ago, I did an all-female unity cipher.
She talked about reaching out to 15 to 20 female rappers in the city, and only 4 showed up. She talked about wanting to bring people together, about there being enough success for everyone to eat. But when her own children were starving, when they needed her most, where was that sense of community? Where was that desire to help others? She couldn't even feed her own babies consistently, yet she was worried about unity in the Indianapolis rap scene. When authorities removed her surviving son from the home and took him to Riley Children's Health for evaluation, they found he showed life-threatening signs of neglect. Medical professionals noted significant concerns about his condition. And this is where the legal strategy becomes crucial. Prosecutors didn't need to prove that Chantel intended to kill Skylar. They only needed to prove that she knowingly placed her children in a situation that endangered their lives. The evidence was overwhelming.
Attorney John Tompkins isn't connected to the case, but says the victim's mother, Chantel Gardner, was charged with murder and neglect, not because she intended to hurt her child, but because prosecutors believe she knowingly placed her daughter in a deadly situation, leaving one question for a jury.
She knew it was bad. Did she know that someone would die?
Investigators dug deeper into the conditions of that apartment and the pattern of abandonment. They realized this went beyond simple neglect. On January 30th, just 5 days after Skylar's death, prosecutors upgraded the charges to murder and neglect resulting in death or serious bodily injury. But Chantel wasn't the only one facing charges. Brian Thomas, the boyfriend she'd been spending all her time with, was also arrested. Brian Thomas was charged with 2 counts of assisting a criminal, accused of lying to police about his knowledge of the children's situation and Chantel's pattern of abandonment. The allegation was that he deliberately misled investigators to protect Chantel and hinder their investigation into Skylar's death. According to court documents, Brian claimed he had limited knowledge of what was happening. He said Chantel stayed at his place up to 5 days a week, but rarely brought the children. He admitted to lying to protect her, but denied any involvement in the actual neglect. The last time he recalled seeing the children was at his birthday party on December 27th, more than a month before Skylar's death. But here's the question that haunts this case. How could Brian not know? How could Chantel spend almost every night at his house, show up without her children day after day, and him not question where those babies were or who was caring for them? Even if he didn't actively participate in the neglect, his silence enabled it to continue.
Attorney Mario Masalamani isn't connected to the case, but says while Indiana law doesn't specify an exact age at which a child can be left home alone, parents can be charged with neglect if they abandon their children, deprive them of necessary support, or leave them in a situation that endangers their life.
What makes this case even more tragic is the number of people who could have intervened but didn't. Skylar's father, who lived in Ohio due to disability, had relinquished full custody to Chantel, believing he couldn't provide adequate care. He reported that his attempts at phone calls and video chats were often ignored. When he did manage to see the children through video, his adult children noticed the toddlers smelled of urine, but no one took action. Friends of Chantel later came forward saying they would have helped if they had known what was happening. One friend stated that Chantel claimed the children were with Brian during their outings together, which is why no one questioned their absence. Chantel had created an elaborate web of lies to hide what was really happening behind closed doors. Chantel made her initial court appearance on January 30th, 2025, and was held without bond. A jury trial was scheduled for April 8th, 2025. However, as of late November 2025, there are no public records of trial outcomes, verdicts, or sentencing details. The case appears to be ongoing or may have been resolved through plea negotiations that weren't made public. What we do know is that during this entire ordeal, while her children were suffering in that freezing, filth-covered apartment, Chantel was actively promoting her rap career. Her most recent music video, More Than a Crush, featuring Merck, was released in October 2024. The exact same month she started leaving her children alone for extended periods. She was doing interviews, posting promotional content, doing behind-the-scenes shoots. In the interview from the Everyday People Network, she talked about working on a new project called Waiting to Exhale that was supposed to drop on her birthday, November 23rd.
So I'm working on a new project right now called Waiting to Exhale. It's gonna drop on my birthday, November 23rd. So, Waiting to Exhale, I've been off the scene for a little bit. So this Waiting to Exhale is just waiting for me to get stuff off my chest, you know, ready to let loose, you feel me? Give y'all what y'all been waiting on.
Social media comments reflect public outrage, with people pointing out the cruel irony of her rapping about authenticity while living a lie.
None of that's a defense, but it's certainly worth noting that the systems that are in place to prevent this on a humanitarian level in our city failed.
Handling things on your own when they get to be out of control and unsafe is not the best idea. So we want to normalize this idea that asking for support is a responsible and good thing to do.
This case represents a complete failure on multiple levels. A failure of parental responsibility, a failure of the support systems meant to protect vulnerable children, a failure of the people around Chantel who suspected something might be wrong but didn't act. But most painfully, it represents the failure of a woman who knew better, who talked about being yourself, staying authentic, helping others, who advised about not conforming to what society wants you to be. Yet when it came to the most important role she would ever have, being a mother to 2 helpless children, she conformed to the worst possible version of herself. Do you think Chantel deserved to be a mother at all? Let me know what you think in the comment section below.
It's time for change. Switch up the story, a new page. Babies dying, ain't even reaching the legal age. Can we pray that we gon' make it another day? They either dying from the shots or the shots through their veins. I know that pain of missing somebody that ain't coming back. Mamas burying they babies, it ain't no fun in that. Life ain't a pickup game, you can't bring it back. I know where everybody got a story, so I ain't judging that. But listen, think before you make that wrong decision. Let me break it down to you like it's long division. Do that crime with your slime and it's your name you mention. And you on your second strike, so ain't no home detention. Nah, let me tell you it ain't worth it. You still got time to flip it and reverse it. To the streets you a goon, but to your babies you perfect. My city acting out and every night they rehearsing. Damn, tell me when we gon' switch it up. See my people in caskets and I done had enough. We still VVs to trade them in for handcuffs. Police still shoot us even when we got our hands up. Damn, guns down, hands up. They rather watch us do wrong instead of saying something. They got targets on our dome like they headhunt. My people don't like to hear the truth, so I ain't saying nothing. But guns down, hands up. Yeah. Guns down, hands up. Yeah.
Click on one of the cards on your screen to see more videos like this.